As you all know, each of your tests, at least for the first semester, will include one short answer question. It may get extended to more than one as the semester moves forward, but for the first test, we will have only one short answer question that is divided into multiple parts. So what I want to do is first explain to you what a short answer question is and how you would proceed to go about answering that question to get all the points involved. These handouts that I'm going to be referring to are posted on our Canvas page, so you can either refer to them or you can print them out and have your own copy. It's completely up to you. So this is just some general information from the AP College Board about short answer questions on the European History exam for the College Board. I'm going to skip this part up here because this tells you about when you're actually taking the AP exam, how many questions you will be given, okay? We're not in an AP exam situation yet. We're just I'm exposing you to short answer questions in hopes that you'll feel more comfortable by the time May comes around and you take the AP exam for European history. So it says here, keys to writing a successful short answer response. Limit your responses to 2 to 3 content-rich sentences. I even wrote on here, minimum is the 2 to 3. You do not go over 4 sentences, okay? We've got to start practicing this early because when you take the true AP exam and that reader is grading your answers, it is a red flag to them if you are going over 4 sentences, okay? They don't want a lot of flowery words. They want you to get straight to the point. And that brings up point number 2. You must directly answer the question prompt, okay? Don't beat around the bush. Don't restate the question prompt. Get right to the heart of your answer. Now, if they continue to have written tests, paper pen, you do have to label each of the parts. Some of these questions will have a part A and a B. Some will have an A, B, or a C, okay? My test is going to be on Canvas, so since it's online, these parts are already labeled for you, okay? So you're just typing your response to each part. But again, if we switch over to paper and pen, you will have to get into practice handwriting and labeling these responses. You must include a specific historical term, event, or detail in your answer. So again, you're just giving, any kind of context to what the question is asking. You're giving specifics, okay? And I'm going to share with you this strategy known as ACE to make sure you are completely answering the question as you should. But first, let's make sure you know what to avoid, okay? When you're doing an SAQ, you are not writing a short essay. You are not writing a paragraph. You are not writing a thesis statement. You're not using bullet points, fragmented sentences, sorry about that, or you're not even quoting from any excerpts that they provide for you, okay? And that brings up this point. All short answer questions have some type of stimulus. They may have a passage from a primary or secondary document. They may have a graph, a chart. They may have an image. It could be a political cartoon. It could be a piece of artwork. You never know what they're going to give you. But if it is written information, again, do not quote from the actual excerpt. We know what's there, so we don't need you to quote from it. Okay? So next, I want to talk to you about the ACE strategy, which is also included on Canvas for you to print out if you would like a copy for yourself. Here is the ACE strategy handout. And as you can see, ACE stands for Answer, Cite, and Expand. So what I'm going to do is just skip down to the details of what the ACE strategy is. So the A for answer is you are directly answering the question. You're making sure you completely answer it, and you're using keywords from the question in your response. So that's the first thing you need to make sure you're doing when you are addressing an SAQ, okay? And y'all, this is for all parts. If you get a part A, a B, and a C, then you're acing all parts. You ace A, you ace B, and you ace C, okay? C stands for cite. They're wanting you to cite evidence from the text to support your answer. Now remember, you don't have to put it in quotes, okay? You're just, it says here, cite evidence from the reading, the graph, the illustration to support or prove. You're trying to explain, further help support your answer, providing that evidence, okay? So it's very important you do that. And then finally, the E stands for expand. You want to extend or explain. So extend your response by explaining the connection between the information that you cited and the answer. Make it clear that you know the answer because of the evidence, okay? You can do this in 3 to 4 sentences. Easy. And remember, it's 3 to 4 sentences per part. So if you're doing part A, 3 to 4 sentences. Part B, 3 to 4 sentences. And then part C, 3 to 4 sentences, okay? And again, use this strategy to make sure you're covering your entire basis for answering that question. Those 2 handouts that I just got finished referring to, again, I want to show you, they are here on our Canvas page for you to either refer to or you may print them out. Next, I'm going to give an example of an SAQ. So hopefully this example will help you better understand how you would write one. As you can see here, this was from our 2018 AP European History exam. So the directions say that you will use the image below to answer all parts of the question that follows. You always want to read this information if it is being provided to you because it can help you with your answer. This background information tells you that it's a December 1921 cartoon from a British magazine showing British Prime Minister Lloyd George and French Prime Minister Aristide Briand and a figure representing Germany kneeling in the water. So you're kind of looking at this political cartoon. I would again read any information that's being provided to you. This says a transparent dodge. Germany is saying, help, help, I drown, throw me the life belt. And then together, Mr. Lloyd George and Briand are saying, try standing up on your feet. So if you look here at the very bottom, you will see the actual prompt itself. You can see it's broken down into 3 parts, A, B, and a C. Part A is asking you to describe one cause of the international situation depicted in the cartoon. Part B is asking you to explain one effect of the international situation depicted in the cartoon. And then Part C is asking you to explain the cartoonist's perspective on the international situation depicted in the cartoon. So before you start trying to answer these questions by using the ACE strategy, you want to first kind of brainstorm the actual cartoon itself. What do you see? What are some important details that might help you in your answer? What we can see here is, of course, what the political cartoon is already telling us. This is British Prime Minister Lloyd George and French Prime Minister Aristide Briand. We clearly have someone who is representing Germany kneeling in the water, and we see a lone lifesaver that a lifeguard would throw to someone. And look up here where it says December 1921. Okay, so we know World War I is over. And if you can recall your World War I knowledge, we all know that to end the war, Germany was forced to sign the Versailles Treaty. And we know that Versailles Treaty was extremely harsh to Germany in many different ways. If you remember the war guilt clause, if you remember the part about the reparations. So again, you're trying to think of all the background knowledge that you have about World War I ending and the contents of the Versailles Treaty and what effect it's going to have on Germany. Because we all know Germany did not want to sign this. They were forced to sign it to end the war. And we know that economically there is no way they can pay the amount of money that was being demanded of them by the Allies. So that's definitely going to play a role in the future of Germany. So once you've taken a moment just to brainstorm and see what is being offered to you in the political cartoon or whatever image they are providing for you, then you start addressing the individual questions. So what I'm going to do is read a student answer for Part A that the College Board gave full credit for, and I want you to notice that this was answered in 3 sentences. So here is it says, describe one cause of the international situation depicted in the cartoon. The First World War ended with the Treaty of Versailles, which included the agreement that Germany must pay many reparations to other European countries. The German people felt that the reparations were too harsh on their feeble economy. The public was unable to fully get on their feet with the constant money they must pay for reparations. That was all the second sentence. Last sentence says, they also felt they were not safe because of the limits on their army and navy. So what that student did was give a cause of the situation, okay? Why does Germany feel like they're drowning? The Versailles Treaty, and then gave specific details from that treaty. All right, Part B says, explain one effect of the international situation depicted. The student writes, the German people felt betrayed by their government for allowing other countries to demand so much in reparations and ignored by the rest of Europe. This would foster a hatred for Western European countries and an increase in nationalism. The German people would soon desire change in government and elect leaders like Hitler that promised to return prosperity to Germany and a repeal of the conditions placed on Germany by the Treaty of Versailles. So again, what the student has done in 3 sentences explained an effect of this situation, okay? Clearly talking about the anger that Germany has against the European countries because of the harshness of the Versailles Treaty. And notice they were specific. The final Part C tells us to explain the cartoonist's perspective. So this student writes, the cartoonist is drawing from a British magazine, which means they will most likely have a bias to portray the British and their allies as individuals with common sense. The artist portrays Germany as an unkempt man kneeling in water. He is pleading for help, but could just easily stand up and help himself not drown. The artist is saying Germany is falsely calling out for help, pleading to Britain and France for economic aid when they are completely capable of saving themselves. So again, that is a great answer for Part C, giving the cartoonist perspective, and the cartoonist obviously is British, and so they are going to have a bias portraying the British in a certain way. So I hope this example helps you understand the format of an SAQ and how you are expected to write it. Remember your ACE strategy. You can ACE each part to get full credit. If you have any questions about how to do an SAQ, please send me a message and ask, and I will be happy, to help you out in any way you need. So I'm going to end this video by reminding you to study everything you see here for your Renaissance test, and please reach out if you have any questions.